Victimology, Theories and Applications, Chapter 1, Crime and Victimology. Case examples: murder of British exchange student Meredith Kercher in Perugia, Italy. Issues: what is the role of forensic evidence? What are protections for Americans accused in other jurisdictions? How might differences in justice systems influence the case? Who were the victims? Criminology, the scientific study of non-legal aspects of crime, arose in the 18th century out of concerns about cruel and arbitrary means of justice, use of scientific methods to focus on prevention of criminal activity and reformation of offenders. Sutherland defined the objectives of criminology as the development of general and verified principles and knowledge regarding the process of law, crime, and treatment and prevention. Victimology, the study of the victim, including their offender and society, emerged in 1940s and 1950s as a subspecialty of criminology, became distinct. Victimology is a social structural way of viewing crime and the law and the criminal and the victim. Victim. The word victim is derived from the Latin victima and originally contained the concept of sacrifice. The term victim now applies a wide range of unfortunate circumstances, such as victims of interpersonal violence, war, accidents, financial scams, or identity theft, and victims of the justice system itself. The concept of victim. Mendelsohn. The nature of the determinant that causes the suffering, the social character of the suffering, the importance of the social factor may be greater than the physical or psychological impact, the origin of the inferiority complex, feelings of submission followed by revolt. Contemporary terminology. A victim of a violent crime can be operationally defined as an individual who has been confronted, attacked, assaulted, or violated by a perceived predator, resulting in short or long-term physical and/or mental injuries as a result. There is no characteristic profile of a crime victim. Cost of crime. Healthy costs. Types of injuries. Economic costs. Economic costs of crime-related drug abuse. Criminal justice costs. Law enforcement, adjudication, victim services, and correctional expenditures. Victim rights. Reasonable protection from the accused. Reasonable, accurate, and timely notice of proceedings. Not to be excluded from any public court proceeding. Be reasonably heard at any public proceeding. Confer with the attorney for the government in the case. Full and timely restitution as provided in law. Proceedings free from unreasonable delay. To be treated with fairness and with respect for dignity and privacy. Forensic victimology and investigative profiling. Forensic victimology is defined as the scientific study of victims for the purpose of addressing investigative and forensic issues. Provides a scientific balance against the idealization or demonization of victims. The examiners are critical and skeptical and put establishment of fact before politics or anything else. The forensic victimologist is barred from assuming that the alleged victims must have been victimized. They investigate as scientists and report as educators. Investigative criminal profiling. Strategy enabling law enforcement to narrow the field of options. Described as a collection of leads as an informed attempt to provide detailed info about a certain type of criminal. In fact, is a form of retroclassification, necessary to rely on the only source of info that is typically available, the crime scene. Crime scene analysis. Situational risk assesses the victim's location and activities at the time of the crime. Crime scene assessment is divided into 4 distinct scenes: initial contact scene, assault scene, death scene, body location scene. At each scene, an assessment is made of the risk level of the offender and the victim. Cold case analysis. NIJ defines it as any case whose probative investigative leads have been exhausted. NIJ Cold Case DNA Grant Program has given agencies the opportunity to put resources towards solving homicides and other violent offenses that may have never been reviewed. Crime scene samples, previously deemed unsuitable for testing years ago, are now yielding DNA profiles using newer methods.